What's going on, everybody? Jimmy73 back with the Double E Show. It's Depraved. We're back here in Depraved Alpha from Evil Bite Games. This is a really interesting game. It's a city builder, town builder. It's of the ilk of Banished. You have to provide all your resources and buildings and stuff like that to keep your populace happy, to make your populace grow. You gotta feed them, you gotta do all kinds of stuff, but this has other elements in it, such as wild animals attacking and bandits and trade and things like that happen automatically. Really cool. We're going to take a quick look at the user interface before we get started in episode 2 here. I wanted to show you. So you have a message log, and this shows you everything that has happened recently. When you're playing, the little messages will pop up right here where the cursor is, the arrowhead. And you can scan back through and see if you've missed anything with that. Coming across, you got it right now in the alpha, there's a bug reporting button. You got the pause, play speeds, and then you have your inventory, which consists of your building materials, the stuff you need to keep warm, your food supplies, your alcohol, and then your population limits. Now, you start out with pioneers, then there's settlers, and then there's merchants. From what I've seen, your pioneers will come in randomly. They need the lowest quality level housing. We'll go over the housing in a minute. Your pioneers require additional items to be happy here, and they have next tier housing, and then merchants, again, more resources to make them happy, and next level housing. I have seen that pioneers, after a period of time, when you have enough items to make settlers happy, will want to upgrade to become settlers, and then you just upgrade them, which is kind of cool. So there's your upper bar UI. Now you can change the name of your town up here, and I'm just going to put Rock Ridge back in. So when you get going, you can put in whatever town name you like, and that way you can make it unique to you. This UI does not move. This UI, does not move. This is your mini map. Down here it shows your money right here. It shows your balance right here, what you're making or losing per hour. And then you can click on the city overview for more details. This is your timeline. So it's summer, month 4 of 12 in the first year. And this scrolls like a wheel and lets you know. And down here, this also tells you the time of day it is. So it's 8:02 p.m. It's dark. You can hear the crickets. The lights have come on in the buildings. This also scrolls. So you'll be able to see, like a little mini wheel behind this. You'll be able to see what season you're in time of day and such. Then you've got your build queue. So if you click on that, it brings up your buildings. The first buildings are building materials, your lumberjacks, your sawmills, your stonemasons, and your toolsmiths. They make metal parts from iron bars and coal, which you can mine for in the game. Then you have your houses, and this is where we'll cover. So worker tent and shacks are meant for pioneers. Okay. Now worker tents house one person. And you get $4 rent from that. Shacks offers more protection from the weather than a tent. 2 tenants can get in that, and you can get $10 rent. And then you have simple houses for your pioneers. You need you need 40 pioneers. These are for the settlers. The next tier up here, right? And they bring in $12, and they can house 3. They can house 3, right? And then the last one is the country house, which you need 30 settlers. This country house can take up to 3 tenants. The rent per tenant is $13. I believe it says, yeah, $13. So that's $12 per tenant. This is $13 per tenant. But only merchants can move into it. Alright, and then this over here is the woodcutter, which I should be in building materials. The woodcutter is what chops your firewood so that your residents can stay warm. Then we have the food production. We have the hunter, which if you watched episode 1, and I recommend you do, they hunt all the wild game that's around the map. And then we have the well, which we put in right here. And that provides well for your citizens, water for your citizens, as well as, no pun intended, water for certain industries that require water to work, like the distillery. When you're placing the well, here I'll pick the well. There you go. So you see the amount of water is 60. It's a bad area in the dry area, but when you move it onto the green, you've got good, and then you've got excellent. You got to find a good place on the map to place these so you get the most water out of that particular well. So, and then we have the grain farm, which is to come, 30 pioneers, and that's where obviously you produce grains. And then you got the pig farm, the cattle farm, and the fisher. The pig farm and the cattle farm are very similar. You want to place them in optimal locations so that that you can feed the pigs and you can feed the cattle, and they produce byproducts of meat and like milk and other things like that for the residents. I believe the cattle farm produces milk. The feeding with grain is determined by the surface. Okay, the cattle farm breeds cattle, so maybe just breeds food, and then the fishery, obviously to hunt, to fish for fish in the river. Moving on to production, we have the tailor. They make clothing from leather or cloth, and cloth is you get from having a sheep farm, and then a weaver and all that stuff. We'll cover that in a second. But they make clothes, and then you've got the weaving mill, turns wool into cloth to make clothing. Then you got the sheep farm, breeds sheep and generates wool for the weaving mill for the tailor. Then you've got the butcher, which butchers the livestock. So when you have the pig farm and the cattle farm, the butcher is important to make meat out of them. Then you have the bakery, which if you have a wheat farm, you need the mill, that's just right here, to turn it into flour so that you can bake bread. Then you have the mill that turns the wheat into flour for the bakery. Then you got the distillery, which makes alcohol from grain and water. You have the gunsmith, which produces weapons from copper and iron bars. And then you have the goldsmith. The goldsmith produces jewelry from gold bars. Nice, right? So that was production. Now you got transportation. In the transportation, we've got bridges. You can build bridges over the river. We have the warehouse, which we're putting one right up there. The warehouse is used to store your town's goods. Otherwise, they get stored when the space is available at the town hall. And if there is no space available, they build up in your resource production building. And when it reaches its limit, it can't take any more in, so you have to have a warehouse to store the goods. Then you got the trading post. This comes into play when you decide to build your second town. So from the town hall, you can build a settler, have him go out, build a settler wagon, excuse me. You can have him go out to another area of the map, establish a brand new town, which you go through the same process that you're doing with town 1, and that one there might just be the mining town, and you put it near a mountain and you mine the coal and the iron and all that stuff, and then you can trade back and forth via the trading post in each town. You've got the iron smelter, smelts iron. It melts iron into iron bars. You got the coal mine, that's for mining coal from the mountains. You got the iron mine. You get the picture. The watchtower. Now the watchtower is actually a defensive building. When you do have the sheriff in town, when you finally get to put in the sheriff, you build watchtowers near entry points where there's the edges of your town, and your deputies will man the watchtowers, and it gives them a greater line of sight to be able to shoot bandits or wild animals that are attacking. Pretty awesome. Then you got the gold mine, mines gold. And you got the copper mine, mines copper. You got the gold smelter, which turns gold that you mined into gold bars. You got the copper smelter, same thing. And then you've got the fort. In a fort, you can train a resident categorized as a settler to become a soldier. Soldiers are armed. They're more proficient with weapons, I think. They have a wider. I'm not certain yet, but I believe they have a wider range of coverage um, of their work area. That may not be the case, but yeah, it's something to get to. And then you got the city tab, which is this. So you got small church, which your residents require a place for religion so that they can remain happy. You've got the stable. That's for the horses. So you see these horses sitting outside the town hall? If we don't build a stable soon, these horses will eventually die because the stable provides them with the food and water they need to stay alive. All right. Then you got the toilet, which we built over here. And you have the doctor. The doctor provides health care for your wounded townfolk. You got the undertaker. The undertaker provides services for the townfolk that weren't taken care of by the doctor. He'll build caskets and he will pick up dead residents and dead bandits and bury them. In order to bury them, you need the cemetery. So the cemetery, from what I've seen, houses approximately like 20 cemetery plots. But your undertaker will pick up the body, bring it back to the undertaker shop, put him in the casket, bring him to the cemetery, dig a hole, put the casket in the hole, and put it on a tombstone to cover it. Keeps diseases from spreading from dead citizenry. The saloon distributes alcohol to the residents. You've got the wooden church, which is obviously a bigger, nicer version of the small church. The wooden church holds more people. Yeah, so it does really good thing there. You got the sheriff office. Once you have the sheriff office in place, you have sheriff and deputies, and they can patrol your town to make sure that it's protected from bandits and wild animals. There is something in the game called gunslingers. Those are random people that'll come in, and for $25 out of your coffers each hour, I think it is, or whatever this tick of the measure is, they will roam the work area you appoint them to and protect you from bandits and wild animals. The sheriff, although it has you have to pay for the upkeep of the sheriff's office, provides three, I believe it's just three, sheriff and 2 deputies, people to take care of your citizenry in the same way, without costing as much as the gunslingers. And then you have the stone church, big stone church. Yeah, and this fulfills the need for religion for your merchants. So this religion for your colonists, okay, and for your pioneers. So pioneers and colonists might be the same thing, but the stone church is required for the highest tier of populace you can have, which is merchants. And that's all the buildings currently in the game. Now, got the city overview tab. You click on that. It gives you your city mood, happy to sad. We're right here about the middle, which means I probably want to think about putting up a church pretty soon. This is your crime bar. That's low crime, that's high crime, and the slider goes right to left. You've got your balance, so we're losing 55 an hour in buildings. We're getting 40 in rental, which means we are losing $15. Here it shows 5. I'm not sure what that is. You can do your trading right from this menu as well with the AI trader that comes through regularly. So keep that in mind. And then from this tab, you can do the goods overview, and this will show you everything you have in stock, what the purchase price is for it, and what the sell price is for it. So if you want to sell something, you can take a look at the prices before you do so, keeping in mind that the more you buy something, the more the price goes up. The more you sell something, the more the price goes down. I believe that's how it fluctuates, kind of just like the market. All right, and then you got residents, and this will give you the names of every resident in your town and their mood and their job. So there you go. These people are getting sad, and if you click on one, or is this overall need? So this is overall need. So the overall need for meat, we got meat. is mostly being taken care of. That's what the green ring is for. Water. I think the well, yeah, the well just got built, so they're going to start producing water, and then that need to be taken care of. Firewood being made, and clothing is not being made. So we have to work on that for the tailor. We can jump to any other city that we have founded right from this menu. And then you got the arrested residents. So once you have a jail, you can click this tab, the city overview, go to here, and it'll tell you who's sitting in your jail. Pretty cool, right? Okay. So we'll close that out. Now we got transport routes. Now this will show you, this is the current town of Rock Ridge, right? When we build another town, it'll show the transport route between those two towns. And you can set the routes up, and you can set up the trading posts to do whatever you need to do, and so on and so forth, and it's really cool. The map, again, just the overview of where we're at on the map, right? The population levels right now, it shows you the. It's sort of misleading. It's not showing your population level. That's up here. This shows you what each of them needs in order to move in. So they need food, water, firewood, and clothing. They need food of two types: water, firewood, clothing, and alcohol. And these guys need the food of three types: the water, the firewood, clothing, alcohol, and jewelry. So it tells you what you need to do to start building up to those people. And then down here you have your settings button, which takes you out to your settings for graphical settings and stuff like that. Okay, covered everything. Everybody knows what's going on. Now let's get into this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the building menu, and I am going to go church, and I'm going to scroll out a little bit, and I'm going to find a really good spot for the church. What do I got? Oh, wait a minute. What is this? That's the woodcutter going in. That's the stonemason. Okay, so I got the woodcutter going in to make firewood. And I got that line going there, which means that the main street's through here. So if the main street's through there, I might want to put the church can I get it in over here? I can. There's trees in the way right there. Dang it! Dang it! Let's go over this side of the train tracks. We're gonna put the what is that? Is that a plank? A rock? We're gonna put the church like this, right by the water. Okay, that way they can do their baptismal in the water. Actually, wait a minute. There's got to be a better place for this, right? If I put it up here, how far out of this can I go? I can go right to there. I want to put it in a place where, right there, right there. I'm being picky about it. Yes, I am. There. Okay. So that church is going to go in. They're going to start working on that in the morning. And then the stable. Stable I'm going to bring back down here. I want the stable to be nearby where people work and live. So whoops. That. Can I get that in? Right there. Okay. So that'll be the stable. Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing right now. Nope. Nope, they're building more houses. Food. Got the hunter. Got well. Waiting for stuff to be unlocked. Okay. Production. We don't need the clothing just yet. Got the warehouse going in. Don't need the bridge just yet. transportation. So, oh, yeah, that's where I was. Okay. And then the city, doing the stable. We've got a toilet over there. Maybe put a toilet in. Right there. Okay. So we'll get a couple of toilets in town. Okay, now let's unpause and we'll let them get working here. So it's 8:15 at night. Yep. Trader coming in. What are you carrying? He's a laborer, and he brought over, oh, metal parts. Very nice. Very cool. So for the housing level, my goal is, where is it? Housing. My goal is to get to 15 pioneers so that I can start building the second tier houses. So 11. So I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Let's go here. No, not there. Let's go here. Worker tent. Close that. Worker tent. Like this. Okay, that'll be 15 houses, right? Right. And where's your work area? You're hunting these guys right here. Very nice, that'll work. Oh, that wolf sounds spooky. Right on. Okay, so what's the level on that? 2, 2, 2. Why don't we make that a 2 priority, and then we want the warehouse isn't major priority. Church will go 3 priority. The stable is a 1 priority. Warehouse is a 1 priority. And toilet is a 1 priority. Very good. Very good. So woodcutter's going to come in. Woodcutter's going to start. We've got some firewood in store. So the woodcutter is going to supplement that. And you know, it's possible we can start trading in firewood as well. So it might be necessary to put in a second woodcutter. Now to keep the green area green, I've placed my production buildings outside of this green area because these, once he's cleared, these are going to be great for farms. So his work area is right there, very nice. These are going to be great for the cattle farms and stuff like that. The production of a storage building is full. Okay, so let's go like this and click that to help them empty the goods. Oh yeah, so let me show you that. So in this menu here, instant pickup of goods. So if you're full up on anything that this production building produces, it's going to stop working. So if you click that, laborers will come along and they will pick it up and bring it to the town hall or the warehouse when the warehouse is available. This pauses and unpauses production, and this destroys the building. Let's go in here, and we're going to click on that. That's my stonemason. Close this, stonemason, empty. Again, once it's full, he'll stop working. So let's step up this to step 2 here. And yep, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, right? So 3 more houses to be built. Now they're going long ways over here to the church. The idea is when I get the church up, I wanted to leave enough room on the side of it for the cemetery or multiple cemeteries in this area. Right? Right. So we might put a cemetery here. Let's see if I can bring up the town hall. So if I click the town hall, oops, yeah, there's my rotation button. I can get a cemetery here, and I can get a cemetery here, and we can have ourselves a nice little church area. And then later on, I can add the larger church to the area as needed. Right? Right. So I still got them buying planks. As trader comes in, he will drop off the planks. I believe this resource has arrived and is located in the town hall storage. Wait until a laborer empties the slot. Right on. Okay. So, they're doing their thing. Oh, somebody's in the toilet. That was a short time, so he just went wee-wee. If he had been in there for a while, he was definitely going to be dropping a deuce. Yeah. Alright, so these guys are working good. They're doing their thing. Love the sound of the wagon trotting off. That's pretty cool. What are you? You're a carpenter. You're a laborer. You're a stonemason. Okay, you guys are doing your jobs. Right on. These guys are coming out here. Something else I want to show you too, real quick. So, on your citizens tab, shows his mood. Just what he has, whether he has a weapon, what he needs. He needs religion. That's why we're building the church. You can follow him, and it'll follow his routine. You can change his stance from defensive to offensive. Offensive means he will attack bandits and dangerous animals within eye contact. You can stop what they're doing, and you can also just pause them. They'll stop working. They'll take a rest. They'll just hang out. So there you go. Let's go back to this. How are we doing on this? So this has 1 of 10 planks and 0 of 2 parts. Production of a building is full. That's this one. Let's click empty. And yep. And then we'll come back up to the church. And you're a builder. What are you doing? Are you building? Oh, just hanging out. Okay. And you're a builder. Right on. Right on. Oops, saving game. Right on. Okay. So we're collecting enough rent to not be way in the minus now. We're just 1 in the minus, which is cool. Production of a building is full. Clicking that. Boom. He's hunting good. Got it. Okay. Again, as these things get built, they collect rent. And as they collect rent, they generate income. Oh, that's the sawmill. So the little animations on this are so cool. So if you watch him... Oh, and he's walking away. So he just made planks. What he does is he picks up a log, he puts it on the saw cuts it, turns it into planks, he takes the planks, puts them down over here, and somebody eventually brings them to the warehouse. Right? Right. Pretty cool. Stop focusing on that. Well, maybe they're focused on that because the... How many metal parts do I have? 8? Yeah. Because they're still waiting for materials to come out here. He needs the metal parts, and he needs the wooden planks. Right on. Looks like they brought the one of the metal parts out. Starting to rain. Nice. They did, in one of the updates recently, they did update the zoom so you could get down in. The developer said the models weren't meant to be looked at very closely. They were supposed to look better from a bit of a distance. These are awesome. I'm telling you now, there's nothing wrong with the view on that. Well water, we've got 5 of 5 here. Let's click that and see if somebody will come pick it up. That'd be awesome. Production of a building is full. That would be the sawmill. No, trying to click the sawmill. There we go. Let's click that. I don't think it helps right now because I don't have a place to store it, but it is what it is. Oh! Choo-choo! Choo-choo. I won't say that phrase. I used to have a saying for that. So this shows the horse's owners. But I did notice in somebody else's playthrough that if you kill a bandit and they were on horse, it won't actually tell you. It'll say horse owner and it'll be blank. Nobody owns that horse, which is kind of cool. That means you own that horse. Here's church, right on, 4 of 10. So just need 6 more planks, but they're already putting in the chairs. They already got the dais in. Very nice. I think once this church is built, we'll call it an episode. I'm going to be doing Depraved Tuesdays at 2 p.m., Thursdays at 1 p.m. I'm going to take over the Stronghold Kingdom Thursday slot until I can figure out the graphical issues I was having with Stronghold. Just really weird. It's a desktop game. I mean, I don't get why it does what it does when it renders. But here they are building away. Look, no shirts. Yeah, maybe a tailor soon. I don't even know how much leather I have. I can check, and I'll show you that in a second. I just want this. There are not enough workers in Rockridge. Build more residential buildings to lure more workers. Yeah, they're going to be working on that. Right now we've got 11. We've got more housing space for them. Production of a building is full. Right on. Just waiting on. We got 8 to 10 planks. How many are you carrying? How many are you carrying? You carrying 1. 1 plank. Come on, man. The guy that's cutting them took 4 off the sawmill. And here comes the 10th plank. And put it down. Pick it up. Nail it in place. $6, $97, $98, $99. As anticlimactic. I was expecting the woohoo moment. There it is. Church is done. Look, church bell. Very nice. So now that we have that, boom. It's where's a city overview. Their moods should start getting happier because they have a church. So if I go in here and I click on, I guess not. If I click on you, he no longer has the church icon, and his mood will start to improve. How awesome is that? Right? So coming back over here, yikes. Warehouse, we're going to bump that up to a level 2. New building available. Alright, let's pause so we can take a look at this, and then we'll end the episode. New building is not in there. 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 Right there. The doctor. Doctor treats sick or injured. Awesome. I wish there was a way to place a building and pause it. You know, like you set this down and then on here would be a pause tab. So you could pause the building of it. That way, not just change the priority, but choose whether or not you even want them to bring resources to it. That way you could plan your layout by laying out the buildings and then build them as you need them. But the doctor, very nice. What is that under? Production? No. Yeah, that's under production. Okay. And no, that's under city. Okay. So boom, city, right there. Doctor. Awesome. Hey, listen, if you like what you're watching, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Tell your family, tell your friends. If you have any suggestions as to what you'd like to see me try here in Depraved, put them in the comments below because I do read them. And with that, I will catch you next Thursday for another episode of Depraved. Peace.
That was a failure of epic proportions. Unacceptable.